Hello?
Wait, hold on. Okay, well, yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Anime Social Club podcast. Joined once again with your boy, Kid Benji, along with Bryan and Jacob. No, they don't get to introduce themselves because apparently they can't handle that.
Hello.
We lost that privilege.
You've
Hey,
lost
wait,
your.
what-
You've lost your. You've.
Maybe you've lost the privilege, huh?
Out of the two most white people in this conversation.
You know, you're not wrong. Okay.
I'm just saying.
You're already halfway there.
I'm
Haha.
halfway there.
Join us.
Join us to the dark.
Come to the dark side.
No, the light side.
The light side.
The
dude.
light side of light. Anyways,
Hello.
so this week
This is why
we
we're friends.
watched Castle in the Sky, Laupita or Lapita, Laputa,
Lupita.
Lupita. That's what it
Oh,
was.
is that our next one?
Lupita.
Yeah, Lupita.
It was Lapida.
Lapida.
Yes, it was. It was
Lapida.
Lapida.
Oh wait. Oh, yeah, you're
Lapida.
trying to say the name of the town?
No, the
Yeah.
no, the castle. It's
Yeah.
It's
Loop.
It's
It's Lapida.
You're saying
Laputa.
it so bad. I thought you were telling us what our next anime we're watching.
No, it's
I was like, ooh, Lapita. That sounds interesting.
Oh, wow,
I was like, what's it about?
cool.
Jesus
to
Christ.
Tilapia.
Lapida.
They
No,
say
not
it like 20
Lapida,
times.
but
How
it
can you
was
forget?
close.
Lapida.
Lapida. Okay, sorry.
It's rhyme with
It's
tilapia,
late.
though.
It's late. I mean,
But
okay.
that's literally how I first read it when they. You know how the sign just came up? I was like, Lupita?
No.
And he was
Okay.
like, I think.
The
Laputa.
way.
Oh, that's what I said. Laputa or whatever. It's like Laputa.
Okay, you read it like that. That I immediately read it as La Puta, meaning.
Yeah,
that-
right.
exactly.
Okay, do you know
That's
what?
why I was like,
do you know what that
That's,
means,
your
Brian?
Mexican is showing.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Huh?
You know what that means?
Doesn't that mean bitch or something? In
Yeah,
Spanish?
the bitch.
Yeah.
I was like La Puta. I was like, what the hell?
Laputa. I was like, okay.
What kind of city is this? I mean, if there's halaputas, you know what I mean. I just want to. Okay.
So we're
Okay. Well, there goes our non-explicit rating.
Wow.
We had that?
We're really, yeah. I guess.
Well, I mean, we were family-friendly
They obviously
content.
don't check it.
We're friendly. This is a
When?
Christian channel.
Okay. Anyways, so apart from our struggling to watch the movie, so if you guys have never listened to the podcast before, the way that we do it is we go one at a time. We give our thoughts. Then after we give our thoughts, we have a discussion, and then we give our rating, and then we go on to the next. Oh shit! I keep hitting my arm on a bottle, and then we go. Why are words hard? And then we go on to next week's movie
Wow.
as well. Okay.
We
I'm
just
so-
did all- we
I
went-
struggled through that. Dear
ended
Lord.
The whole thing. You had like all the, you tried to bring all this energy out like it's not midnight.
Oh man, dude, it's
And we didn't
late.
just do a 2-hour movie. Great though.
You're not wrong.
Okay, so
So let's
we
go ahead
jump
and
into our thoughts.
yeah, thoughts. Oh fuck! I dropped my water. God damn it. Okay, go, Brian. Here's your thoughts.
Wow.
Shit.
Okay. You don't have to
Right.
you don't gotta cry. It won't. I'll keep it
It's
PG.
okay.
I promise.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a Disney movie. That's what I thought. I thought it was great. I mean, not like 10 out of 10, but yeah, it was like a kind of gave me that like Pocahontas, Atlantis vibe. Like all the characters had invincible plot armor if they were good.
Seriously.
It was a goofy, fun little. It's something I would totally show to, like a 10-year-old kid. It's a cute little story. I don't really. I mean, it didn't do anything for me personally. I mean, there was some good moments. It's the stone golems in the city were pretty cool looking, but at the end of the day, it was just like, we had another male character that had we learned nothing about him, and then we had a cool kind of like, nerfed Mary Sue character. I don't know. It was a good story, but I don't know. I just thought it was for kids personally.
Nice. Cool.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
You're supposed to rate yet? Okay. I didn't say this last
Oh.
week because I thought it just slipped your mind. We give thoughts, discussion, and then rate. Okay, get it right.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to read.
What did I tell you? Okay, you better get it right.
Yeah.
Kick your ass off here. I know, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm still getting
I was
paid, right?
joking.
Today.
Okay, no. He's getting paid.
Shout out to our sponsors.
The
the Peanut Gallery.
sure. Jacob, you're next.
So okay, my thoughts on the movie are pretty similar in the sense of like it definitely, well, the style I would say of the animation is definitely a warmer, more welcoming style that even like things like violence don't seem as violenty. Also, I must say that boy, or I would say like that boy had amazing strength and balance, by the way, because he was able to catch a human body in dead weight, like fully like over a ledge and not fall to his death. But it was
You
basically
can't do that.
it was Princess Mononoke 1.0.
Barely
And
tie my
so
shoe.
it was a great visuals movie. It was a great, like, I mean, it literally was the studio and the writers and the artists going, "This is how big my penis is." Because they like literally they shit on every, like, a lot of modern anime, and they were just doing things like letting hair and all their shirts and shit blow in the wind when it didn't even need to. And it was just like the way that they had their attention to details, the scenery was actually really beautiful. We watched the original version, so the audio was it was interesting because there's a lot of parts of silence in the movie too that were really, I felt, kind of appropriate, that Disney filled in. And so and listening to with the original voice actors and stuff, it was just, I mean, the movie is, again, like, you definitely could sit and watch this with like with somebody who's 10 all the way up to somebody who's 30 or whatever, and just like chill. And because there's enough like little actions and stuff, and there's enough happening, you know what I mean, that you're not going to get fully bored, and the kids are going to be engaged enough to where they don't even need to really understand what's happening. For all, like a little kid could watch this movie and be like, "Oh, robots, and there's action, and they're friends, and yeah, and they're happily ever after at the end." And so it was definitely like it was a cool movie. It's just such a actually a huge difference compared to the last movie to this one, in the sense of like how much it made me care, and how much this one made me just like, oh wow, this is just visually like a very pleasing thing to watch, and a very, like, cool story to tell. But it definitely is Princess Mononoke 1.0, 100%. In the exact same way, the exact same issues I had with this movie is the same issues I had with the last movie. Same thing, like with the guy protagonist, we really didn't know much about him. We knew way more about the girl, and the guy was literally involved in, like, 90% of the movie, right? So it's like things like that. I mean, but I did love a lot of the characters, like the pirates were actually turned out to be, the anti-hero, type of thing. And um yeah, there was just a lot that I did like about it. But there's a lot of things that also made me go like, "Oh, I don't know how to feel about that," when like all the pirates were like trying to like get at that little girl. I was not like, I literally said to bed, I was like, "I don't know how I feel about this." They were all like cleaning the kitchen and stuff. I was like, And but I think that the movie, again, visually was great. Again, it's a lot of the war and visualization and all that stuff, that Japan had to deal with in the past and stuff. And then I think it was just portrayed again in a very beautiful way, visually, for sure. And so yeah, I mean, I definitely liked it. Definitely not like, for me, greatest animes of all time, as far as like story and all that stuff, but visually, 100%. Visually, this was something that you want to definitely lay eyes on, for sure. So, and it's a nice story too. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Awesome. Yeah, I definitely agree with all you guys' thoughts. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive into mine. So, this movie is definitely, it's almost a visual representation of a dream. This is definitely something you really like. It felt like it's something someone it just came to them at night. Uh, how, like Bryan said, the super plot armor, the very stylistic and animated and very out there animation, it felt like not only beyond its time, but it was like a very dreamlike story. Uh, it kind of like gave you, like, or at least for me personally, a lot of like nostalgic feeling as well. Seeing like just the detail in a lot of the castle, and all of the character expressions, just how they kind of pieced everything together. I got like, the Evangelion vibe. I got a little bit of a Ghost in the Shell vibe. Like I could see all the things that this movie inspired. That I'm starting to
Yeah.
see, not
Setting the bar,
yeah, not even now, but in movies that I've been watching that that came after this one. I'm like, oh my god, like this movie set a lot of the tone for like the visual aesthetic for a lot of different shows and movies. And oh my god, I don't know if like someone pissed off Miyazaki or what, but he just fucking flexed on the entire anime industry, like so hard. Like somebody had to have been like, "Oh, dude, y'all can tell a story, but y'all suck at animation." And then he was just like, "Well, y'all can go fuck yourselves," and then gave us. I don't think we ever returned back to a single location other than for
Yeah,
like
you
a half
have a good
second.
point.
Not the yeah. You're
We
right.
we started on the giant airship. We went from there into the little valley to the mines,
Yep.
underneath the mines to the army base, and then we barely touched back at the valley, only to go straight into the Goliath, then leading into the amazingly incredibly animated castle in the sky. They drew an entire city that went underneath it when he looked in the water, and they added so much, like the amount of detail for how short that we saw the castle. It was almost unnecessary to a point, because you're just thinking like, how the fuck did they do all of this and we're able to fit it all in and do it at the quality that we're seeing it at. It just absolutely blows my mind.
Yeah. The movie did not seem like it was 30 years old plus.
No.
Right?
Yeah, it's
Right, like
the amount of
like
forward thinking that they had in this movie was incredible, and it honestly puts a lot of different shows, like a lot of stuff that's out today to shame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
but that's obviously because of like the visionary that Miyazaki is overall. And it was funny because we got that same old school. I used to attribute this only to like Ghibli films, but I'm starting to notice more and more this is more of a antiquated storytelling form that a lot of anime shows like to do, which is where they'll come in pretty fast with the initial plot point to kind of accelerate into the main story, and then they kind of dump the entirety of the like what everything meant in the climax, right? So if you were to go back to some older movies like Ghost in the Shell, you get all the philosophical dump towards the end when she's fighting the robot, or in Ninja Scroll, you get a lot of the again the philosophical drop towards the end in the final battle. Same thing with this movie, you get all the philosophical drop in the end of the movie. Same thing with Mononoke. Same thing with what was the with Kiki to an extent. But so far, we've seen a lot of this
even
acceleration.
we didn't finish. Even that movie.
Yeah, even the movie that we didn't
got the whole
finish.
plot at the beginning, and then they
Which-
just tore it up even more.
Yeah, which people don't even know about that yet. We'll have to revisit that someday. But yeah, so that immediate acceleration straight into the story, telling the story, and then dumping us with the overall purpose of the story. And I think, in my opinion, this is probably the best paced Miyazaki film that I've seen so far. And I'll preface this with, I haven't really seen so many. And the only reason why I say it was probably the best paced is because I find it really hard to say at any point in the movie that I feel like this transition between locations was awkward. Because it seemed like they put such a huge emphasis on the artwork and the aesthetic of everything. I felt like that really drove the narrative like so well that it set the pacing and the tone for the film. And so at any point, you didn't really feel out of place or bored. You were always engaged with the story at every single point, because even when there was downtime, and because of the version that me and Jacob saw, there was a lot of it, not because there was nothing to to hear, but because we watched we watched the 1985 dub, which didn't have the Disney.
Yeah, is it 85?
Yeah, the Disney musical background insertions. But even then, it wasn't really too big of a deal because of how detailed and grand that they went with this whole show, or with this whole movie.
So maybe the one I watched was the one with the music then.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. Bryan actually watched a different version that included more the Disney voice actors and a lot of more the reworked and remixed sound. So which is funny.
It was just a Disney movie, but it was good. It was, your typical high quality, simplistic but full complete story that's well timed. There's no there's this guaranteed polish that's that you just come to expect.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because it makes me actually want to watch the movie 2 more times to see the original subbed and then watch the Disney redub. You know what I mean? Which I mean, I'll probably eventually do when we do our rewatches. What's that? There's gonna be a rewatch club. Yeah. Go ahead, Ray.
Podcast.
There was a lot of things that were immediately just reminding me of Disney movies, like that eating food scene, where they use the same kind of looking piece of meat for every time they're chowing down. I don't know how the classic. It's one giant bow with a bunch of meat around it, and they eat it in one bite somehow,
Mm-hmm.
And and then when I was watching, there's tons of Disney music that was really nice, and I don't know, I actually really liked the song at the end. I remember, I distinctly liked. And,
that was good. That was good.
I wonder if the Disney version ends differently, because I feel like it ends a little bit differently, or maybe not, but
because the end it was funny because so me and Jacob were just like oh my fucking god, after the the explosion with the castle and everything crumbled and everything, and then
the thing went into fucking space.
Yeah, they put the thing in fucking space, and they put it in space.
Oh yeah, by the way, fuck you, space.
Yeah, fuck you guys. We're animating fucking space.
We're animating space.
And then we're animating a day transition too.
And then it went from night to day. And then I was like, wait, or was it day to night and the night to day?
Night to day.
It did a whole day cycle.
Yeah. They're like, fuck you guys.
What the fuck?
It was a satisfying ending. Okay.
Can I go there? Where is this place?
This has to be the best ending so far, right? Out of the Ghibli movies we've seen.
Oh, out of the Ghibli movies? I
like this
Princess
ending.
Mononoke better. I like Princess Mononoke a lot better, to be honest.
Jacob, we technically haven't seen that, so I mean, we have seen it.
How is that? We haven't posted those yet.
When I merged this with the movie club, I kind of watched a couple movies before, but I mean that's just a technicality.
God, get it together, my guy.
I'm sorry, dude.
And you're not letting us do the intros.
They don't know that I haven't watched. Okay, anyways, but yeah, I will say
like that better.
Yeah, I could see that, but I felt like this. Yeah, just in my own opinion, this ending was pretty complete.
There was a bunch of random things that I really like to pick apart that we don't really see today.
Go for it.
So the pirate leader, the lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't see those characters ever. When's the last time you've seen a realistically kind of burly, scary pirate lady in a recent in a movie? I think there's been a big push for some reason to have pretty and scary chicks in movies, but there hasn't been a noticeably ugly one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or just somebody that's real, like an average person.
The only other one is I don't know, Brienne of Tarth from fucking Game of Thrones. But the problem is she's actually really pretty in real life. They had to make her ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's her. It's kind of noticeable. But yeah, I don't know. She was a believable character in a way, right? She's kind of like a gypsy in a way. She's missing most of her teeth. But she's still got a heart of gold deep down.
Man. I love the husband.
The husband was dope too. Yeah.
He's the mechanic of the ship, and you've got all these idiot lackeys, typical. It was a, I don't know. It was a goofy story. I can't really count on it. Obviously I like the really dark, serious stuff, but I feel like you have to have the light, playful stuff, or nothing's dark and serious. You know what I mean? You need contrast. So yeah. It didn't do anything for me personally, too much, but it was a great fucking story. I mean,
Yeah, it was
I would rather
funny.
show this to my kids than,
Yeah.
like Frozen or some dumb shit.
Exactly. I was gonna say the exact same thing.
It's
Yeah,
it's interesting because it's like if I could, I mean, I like I said, we've only seen like I've only seen a very minimal amount of Ghibli movies, right? But the main character was Kiki. The intricate animations were like a predecessor to Spirited Away, and then the whole plot was like Princess Mononoke. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
like
mm.
it. I don't wait. I don't know if this movie predates Kiki, but I mean, either way,
I
I'm
think
like
pretty
it
sure it
did.
does. Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it does.
Like it's almost like this is kind of
It
Well, yeah,
feels like
you
the
a
same
see
character in a
the
way.
styles. Yeah, you
yeah,
definitely see
yeah,
the
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
style that he has, and you definitely see like it's just his way of storytelling, and a lot of his storytelling is very liberal mindset and very much so like the conflict between humans and nature and
yeah.
and war and all that stuff, and it is very like it's touching, and this one for me it touches on those things in a visual way, and it uses the visuals to really try to make an impact on those topics, I felt like, and
It
Hmm.
really tried to like I noticed it when they were showing like the human city with their defenses.
yeah,
It really showed their city is just like giant, like massive metal. Like it
yeah.
was like, look at this blot on the land. Like, you
Well,
know,
even like the bat when they were showing like the stuff in the past, it was like super like smoke and like humans just build this stuff, and it was just like all like it created this ugly picture of
yep.
humanity, really. And it's for me, like, I mean, I do, I love the idea of nature, but also nature's trying to kill us too, so
Hmm.
there's a love-hate relationship with it. And but I think like for me, like with all of it, I think again that's why I think it's Princess Mononoke 1.0 is because Princess Mononoke really focused on that conflict and really focused on a lot of those conflicts in a very good way, and from multiple levels. And this one just kind of dealt with the conflict like it kind of in a very lighthearted way. It was like again like with the way it was animated, the way the visuals were, the way the audio was, and I think for me when it was silent, it was really cool. And so it was more about that than it was about the philosophical, I felt like. But I know you could definitely, again, it's like you can start to see his trends, start to see his style and within
They
the movie.
they
So
easily could have like spent 15 minutes and dived deep into why the people left their castle and decided to live on the earth.
yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
exactly.
And
We got
he,
we
and they
they
did it
touched on
within
it
such
briefly.
a yeah, they did it within such a small window.
Yeah.
That I
Well, the
was like,
beginning and the end were in such a small window. I felt like a lot happened at the beginning and a lot happened at the end really quickly.
I thought
So
it was weird that the destruction spell kills the castle in a way, or at least frees the tree from the castle. You know,
yeah,
yeah,
right? Like that's all it actually did, which was kind of
yeah,
weird.
it didn't
yeah, pretty
actually
much.
destroy it. It didn't actually destroy anything. It just it literally the crystal just moved higher up into the tree and lifted everything else, and then dropped to like
Yeah.
all the whatever was the bottom part of it, I guess.
Yeah, and I
So
think I think this
I don't
movie has like the highest body count too, out of all
yeah,
the.
yeah,
I think out of
yeah,
all the
yeah.
movies we've
There's
seen.
But you never really see it.
film theory video about it that they talk about the body count of like people falling, like when you think about it, like the military guys that fell out of the castle or whatever, they just fell out the bottom. That
Yeah.
was like at least like 20 to 50 people, who knows how many were like there. But
They
yeah.
never dwell on it though. Like we never get to see them actually die
Well,
though.
yeah,
So
and
it keeps it kind of PC.
yeah, and that's why I was telling Ben, I was like the fact that it's how the animation was done. It's like how the characters are drawn, how innocent they look. It's that even though there's like a lot of people dying and there's actually a lot of violence, and but because of the style and like literally like it was a kidnapping in the government, and like this actual malicious man who's like literally grabbing and punching a young girl, like
Yeah.
this is all things that are actually happening in this movie, and you almost forget because of how it's animated, and because it is
Yep.
very beautiful, and it's because it's very peaceful, and in the way that it looks, but it very much so hid a lot of the very like, whoa, that's actually a really big deal, right? Like that's a big deal.
You could literally
Like,
redo the same story
mhm,
with like a different like anime company
different
today,
aesthetic,
and we can
yeah.
make that shit so dark.
So
Okay.
dark
Okay. Okay.
and
Okay.
Yeah,
have so many people die, and so
yeah,
I think, but
Yeah.
but I think again it was, it's a Disney movie, and so
So
it brought a lot of those things in a beautiful, or
yeah.
like a
So
more
I'm actually really glad you guys noticed that because that's kind of the last point I want to bring up. So I don't know how you would describe this, but the obviously the theme of greed and power is pretty much the center theme, right, for the movie.
hmm
So
Mhm.
the way that they address that center theme, stylistically in the narrative and how it transitions between scenes and it flows, it's eerily similar to Akira and how they execute the representation of the good and evil, and what eventually ends up being actually good and evil, and how that's revealed and paced, has a very similar narrative structure to Akira, and how we think we know who the good people are who end up actually being bad, but those who are obsessed with their own greed and then eventually fall to their own vices, right? And it was just an interesting cadence between the two movies. You've seen Akira, right, Brian?
yeah. That was like the first movie we
Yeah,
watched.
that was, huh? That was, yes, yeah, yeah, yes, it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
But
Mhm.
yeah, like the moment when that old man, when he's trying to run away with all the money, but his heart's stopping because of all the drugs he's taking,
yeah,
was reminiscent of when the army general got all the gold and thought he had hit it big with what he had and tried to run away with it, you know. And eventually both
yeah.
of them fell to their own vices and like their own greed because of what they were trying to pursue. So it just had like a really like it's almost like Akira is the dark version of that, like how you guys were describing. You know what I mean? Because many people die in pursuit of um, that that goal of like power and greed and wanting more and more and more. So I don't know if you guys have felt the
Well,
same way in terms of like how it paralleled or even paralleled at all. You know what I mean? But that's just like Akira just popped out hardcore to me though when I was watching that, just how the narrative developed with that theme.
Well, I think that like stuff like that is a constant thing. When you look at like anime that are trying to, there's a deeper message, beneath the surface. And so I think that a lot of times it is trying to show that these traits, and it's trying to portray these traits as something that is, bad or bad for you, or leads you down a path that, to death or destruction or whatever. And so it's kind of like it seems really like just archetypal, really. Like it's just when you're trying to portray something, I think a lot, and it's an anime because a lot of it is you're having to cover a lot of ground quickly in these visual ways. And so yeah, I just feel like it's really it is kind of like an archetypal type of thing. It's like but really it's like the storytellers wanting to create resolution. I feel like it's just I want like they want to know, like, the bad guy, especially in a movie like this where it's really kind of Disney. The bad guy is gonna lose, right? And you
Yep.
don't actually ever question that. You never question that
Yeah.
the bad guy is gonna lose in this entire movie. And I think for me that's the part where, for me, that's where when you look beneath the surface, the story lacks. And so that's, like, I guess, my point of view. But yeah.
Nice, nice. Cool. Well, dude, I think this is the quickest we've ever hit 30 minutes, which doesn't make any
Well,
sense. But
I
Wow.
have one. I
Yeah,
have
I was
one
gonna
final
say.
point.
yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Mm,
Okay, so it's playing on what Jacob said. So he
mm.
said it lacks. I think I forgive it because I think it was so clear that was what its goal was.
Right.
Like I think even if you told them that it lacked, they said it's supposed to be predictable. Like, when I was watching it, I was like, geez, this movie's so predictable. But then when I really sat back and looked at it, I was like, oh, it's supposed to be. Like
Right. Right.
I just think you have to have some movies like this, and so it's hard for me to separate a personal rating from like an actual rating. Like if this is designed for kids, then great, it's a 10 out of 10. But
Yeah.
if it's
Mhm.
designed to be supposed to be like a really good hard thinking anime, then I'll give it a 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 because I think it's lacking in reality,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's obviously got plot armor, but
Yeah.
I think it set out to do exactly what it did, and therefore it gets a 10.
Yeah.
Like if that was its actual intention, but I believe it is.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100% because that's what I'm saying. Like in the sense of like if it's as a Disney movie, 10 out of 10. Like this movie is great, like better than Frozen in my opinion, right? And so like just in a lot of levels. But if it comes to like me watching it as an individual and it's like a movie that wasn't originally created for and by Disney, that you go, okay, if it's trying to tell a deeper message like others have and others do and the same studio has and they've done it better, you have to go, okay, yeah, I give this like a 7, but definitely a seven's worth watching. And
Yeah.
again, that's as an adult. And then but as a kid, this movie is a fucking 10. This movie's super dope. There's action to the point where it's like it's not there's they don't I don't even think there's really hardly any blood. There's just like cuts on faces and just like you again there's never you never get that sense that that they're gonna lose. You're just waiting to see how they're gonna win. And that's great for a kid to watch, because yeah, there's no reason to be like death, destruction, life is not safe, when you're 10. But
Yeah.
as when you get to be our age, you're just like, man, you start to see it and you go, okay, well, if they could have brought a little bit more reality into it, I could have been much more engaged at that level,
This
since
is
that
like
seems
the
what they're trying
stepping
to do.
stone to them actually being interested in like some real anime movies that would be really
Yeah,
philosophical and deep and maybe dark.
yeah, and that you can
This is
appreciate as you get older, and you see
exactly.
it. Yeah, so
Yeah,
definitely 7 out of 10 for sure for me.
I feel it. I feel it. Yeah. So, this. So for the movie overall, I mean personally, it's gonna get 8.5. The I don't know. Immediately, the movie itself sticks out to me like a Dr. Seuss book, right? Simple in execution, but extremely complex and elegant in what it actually in its essence, right? And I feel like because it's paced so incredibly well, and this is probably one of the first, probably maybe the second time that I've seen an anime film paced so extremely well. And pacing is like one of my biggest gripes when it comes to um, just anime overall, whether it be movie or show in general, because I feel like that can really break immersion pretty well, or unfortunately break immersion for the viewer. So I never really felt out of place watching it. It just hit all the right points for me. So that's why I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. But yeah, so, and as you guys know, all ratings are subjective. So yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
it
just
doesn't matter what we think, and these are random numbers that mean nothing that we're just making up. So don't be mad.
it's just
Go
an
watch the
expression.
damn
It's just the
movie
way
and,
to
and decide what you want it to be yourself.
yeah. It's just the quantification of my
It's just us
viewership.
measuring nothing.
But mine's more right than all of yours, so fuck you.
My opinion, and I'm right.
um, but yeah. So overall, yeah. So final rating 7.7, 8.5. But
10 or 7, depending on what it
10
was
or 7,
intending to be.
10 or
depending
10 or 7, 10 or 7.
Sorry.
So
This
as
is
you
what
can
it is.
see, Benjamin is mentally a little bit okay. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, hey, look at me. Okay, hey. You know what I say to that?
definitely
Hey,
agree
we've
with
already
you.
have the explicit rating, so I can
I
tell
think
you
it's
this.
a good
Shut the fuck up.
average.
Oh, shit.
Hey, it's a good average.
Got him.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so now that we've gone, dude, this was literally the fastest 30 minutes. Shit. We might have to record these earlier,
Fastest
2
minutes.
extend these
Uh-huh.
for a little bit longer because I feel like we're not getting everything out of it. Or in terms of conversation that we definitely
I mean, we
can
could just
be.
keep talking
No.
longer. There's nobody that says we have to keep it in.
Then you have to edit it. He might actually do some real work.
No,
Just let it go. Just let it go. This is gold. You know what I mean? People don't know what they're missing. They're sleeping on us, and then they're gonna wake up and go, "These guys are the shit," and I'm gonna
Dude.
watch all this anime.
I'm dying. I just
Damn.
want to turn my fucking okay.
That's not confidence.
Anyways, I just
Yeah.
wanted I want to announce next week's movie. Can I do that, please?
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So,
Marby's.
Wait.
oh wow, they drum roll without Pavlov.
You see that?
I can't drum roll.
This time.
Okay, so drum roll, please. And the anime movie for next week is Appleseed. The
These
movie.
names are always so stupid.
Appleseed, the movie,
It's like
the anime movie.
It's so funny. I still judge these movies by their titles, and I haven't.
Dude,
learned
I
yet,
do.
I'm
And
judging so hard.
how many contradictions have we gotten so far?
God, all of them.
I think they're
Yeah.
all contradictions. Their names
Literally,
have,
like the
given
ones we
nothing
thought were
away.
gonna be the best were the dog shit of dog shit. But
The funniest, quirkiest names have always been like the super intense movies.
yeah,
You
like
know?
what the
And
heck?
you think this one might be dark, castle in the sky or whatever. Ooh, spooky.
Oh, you know what? You
it's
know what?
like,
I'm gonna do some. I'm innovating right now on the spot.
Wow.
whoa.
Uh,
I can. Oh my god, calm down. There's too much innovation.
There's so much innovation.
I'm innovating too fast.
There's like
Okay.
we've had like 5 innovations in the past
Don't
2
hurt-
podcasts.
don't
I'm
hurt
kinda
yourself.
getting stressed out.
All those innovations.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Okay.
We're starting to become a major corporation here. You know, let's start changing things for the sake of change.
Oh my fucking god.
His
Okay.
innovation is that it's going to yell at us and use cuss words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
Can I? Okay. I'm gonna read the summary of the movie, the synopsis.
Wait,
Okay.
what?
Okay.
Is that a new thing? Wait,
Wha-
I don't want to know the end of the movie.
You're not gonna know the end. No, it's not the fucking description. The thing.
Don't
The
read me
descriptive.
dark notes.
Spoilers.
I
Okay.
want to be surprised.
Okay. No. It's okay. Appleseed. It's a sci-fi thriller. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Diwan
sure?
Canoe is a female warrior who survives the global war. When she meets her old love, Briarios Hectoroshineres, she finds that.
Innovation.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't have innovated this time.
You know what? Fuck it then. What did the fuck you guys? I ain't really know more.
I think we
Goddamn
should've practiced that
fucking
one
piece of
really
shit.
quick. We should have
I'm
been like,
done.
Hey Siri, how do you say you could? Yeah, don't.
Benji,
yeah,
Oh my
Next
god,
time you decide to innovate by reading, you should probably make
Like,
sure you can read
dude.
first.
dude.
With all that
These
butchery, we should
fucking
have
names
some
are
breakfast,
insane.
I guess.
Yo, this shit's OP.
Make some
dude,
breakfast ham
I didn't
burritos.
expect
You're the
the
biggest weeb I know. You should be able to read that shit fluently.
Dude, I didn't
I
expect that
know.
shit to be that fucking hard.
Mr. I watch subbed.
Okay, first of all, that wasn't Japanese. Second of all, that's a made up language. Okay. You know what?
Made up.
Oh, how do you know that? Is that how you feel about? First of all language is made up. Second of all,
Okay, well, we are over time, so I'm gonna go ahead and you know what? Do one of you want to outro the podcast? Who wants to? Okay,
Whoa, this
well-
is such a big responsibility.
Okay, well, Jacob gets the
Nose
outro. Jacob will outro it.
I'm already
Wait,
working.
nose goes.
No. Well, okay.
Put
Shut the.
their finger on their nose last.
Okay, I'm gonna promo and then you outro.
Don't lie.
Okay, just fucking talk after I'm done. All right, everybody. Appreciate you guys for listening to the what's it called? Anime Social Club.
His show, by the way.
Dude, my brain, dude. Okay. Thank you guys for listening to the Anime Social Club. Be sure to check out the Kitsu group, Kitsu Anime Movie Club thing. You can check it out on my profile, kitsu.com/user/Kid Benji. You could also find the Anime Social Club located on any podcast platform. So if you hear this on YouTube, you hear it on Anchor. You could also find it on Apple, Spotify, Google, and pretty much anywhere podcasts are available. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at KidBenji11 just because I want more followers and clout. And be sure to always keep up on my daily seasonal content on Kitsu as well. I do write-ups for every single episode that I watch, no matter how badly I get flamed. You'll know by this last global post. Dear fucking God. And that's pretty much, that's all the housekeeping for this week. So now is the point where someone is supposed to out.
Hi. Hello.
You guys
started how we
are
how we,
fucking
remember
useless.
How we started this? Hello. Hello. Is anybody there? Can you hear me?
Benji, you shouted yourself out. They're not even listening anymore, dude. Come on.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in.
Wait, is anybody
We'll
there?
see you guys next week. We appreciate you guys for
Wait,
listening,
I'm
and we
supposed to
will
be
see
doing
you
the
guys
outro.
next time.
I'm supposed to be doing the outro. so
Say
we'll
bye.
see you
No, you don't get to do the outro.
We'll
You
see
fucked
you
up.
guys in the next video.